Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to this session where we discuss solutions to ensure access to safe water for all. My name is Pauliina Meskus, and I work as a junior technical advisor with the Sustainable Wash for All project in Nepal. So today's session is divided into three interesting presentations by sector specialists, focusing on research and development of inline chlorination technology, community level practices of inline chlorination, and scaling up inline chlorination system. So the overall session is mainly focused on this solution that has been piloted by the convening partners in Nepal. And after these presentations, we will have some time for open discussion as well as questions and answers. And please feel free to write your questions also during the presentation to the chat box, and we will aim to address all of them at the end. And finally, the session will be closed and concluded by Ms. Riikka Miettinen, the program manager from the Ministry for Foreign Affairs of Finland. A little bit about the convening partners of this session. So the session is convened by Helvetas Nepal, Nepal Water for Health, NEWAH, and a Sustainable Wash for All project, SUSWA, all working in this sector in Nepal. Helvetas Nepal has been operating in Nepal since 1956, and the organization is currently implementing programs and projects throughout the country, cooperating with many technical and social organizations and supporting activities leading to sustainable development and poverty reduction. It's one of the integrated water resource management projects, is operating in 8 municipalities and 15 rural municipalities in Karnali and Sudur Pachim provinces of Nepal, supporting water supply schemes, sanitation promotion, water quality improvement, and capacity development of local organizations. Helvetas Nepal collaborates with Charity Water for the implementation of the program. Nepal Water for Health is a pioneer and leading organization in wash sector in Nepal, established in 1992, with a vision prosperous and healthy Nepal, where every citizen is entitled an improved quality of life and are also able to access their right to safe drinking water, sanitation, hygiene, and health. They've completed 2,727 WASH projects and reached 2.21 million beneficiaries to date in Nepal. NEWAH is also dedicated to helping the poor and underprivileged communities irrespective of caste, ethnicity, class, or belief. The thematic areas of work are sustainable wash delivery, capacity building, coordination and advocacy, research and development, and knowledge management. Last but not least, Sustainable Wash for All, or SUSWA project, is a human rights progressive bilateral wash sector project in Karnali province. It is funded by the government of Nepal, the European Union, and the government of Finland, with contributions from the municipalities and communities. The project is a continuation of financial and technical support that the government of Finland has been providing to the development of the wash sector in Nepal since 1989, and it is implemented with the technical assistance of NEWAH Finland. So, before we jump to the presentations by our specialists, we are going to take a quick look at the context of wash in rural Nepal. The population of Nepal is 30.5 million, and 76% of the population live in rural areas, which is characterized by traditional lifestyle and small family farming practices. As we all know, Nepal is famous for its mountains, and the terrain is steep in most places in the hill and mountain regions. This means that the communities are quite scattered in remote locations. Mountainous region also creates a good environment for so-called gravity-fed water supply systems. At the same time, the combination of monsoon climate and rural life creates some challenges in terms of water quality. There are rapid floods, landslides, droughts, turbid water flows, and at the same time, cattle roams freely in nature and communities, and this increases chances of microbiological contamination. Also, the 51% safe sanitation coverage can create challenges for water safety. The overall water supply coverage is high, around 95% in 2022. However, many of these systems have some functionality challenges. And when it comes to access to safe water, Nepal has set a target of 90% for the SDG indicator 6.1.1 on the proportion of population using safely managed water service, drinking water service. The latest reports, however, indicate that there is still work to do to achieve this. For example, according to the Joint Monitoring Program report, the safely managed drinking water coverage is 16%. An important aspect to note here when we talk about access to safe water in Nepal is that the government of Nepal has demonstrated strong commitment at the constitutional policy level to ensure access to safe water for all. This is reflected in relevant laws and policies and quality standards and so on set by the government. But what are then the practical solutions that can be implemented at the local level to address water quality related challenges in the context which was discussed? Next, we are going to dive into one solution that has indeed been piloted and used by the convening partners in rural areas of Nepal. And first, I'm going to invite our speaker from Helvetas Nepal, Mr. Bal Mukunda Kunvar, to share about their research and development work. Over to you, Bal Mukunda.
Thank you, Paulina. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I am Bal Mukunda Kunvar, and I'm working as a research and development specialist for Helvetas Nepal. Today, I will be talking about the research and development initiatives of inline chlorination practices. For this presentation, I would like to thank NEWAH Switzerland for their support and generous efforts for applied research, and Charity Water for the support for construction of drinking water schemes in rural areas of Nepal. Thank you for the introduction, Paulina. Helvetas Nepal is working in water sanitation and hygiene in the western part of Nepal and is mainly focused on the construction of rural drinking water schemes, sanitation and hygiene, but with the active participation of the community. So the next topic, or the next slide, that I will be discussing about the resources that we have conducted in Helvetas Nepal. There were many initiatives taken by government of Nepal and other agencies, but back in 2015, during our work, when we conducted a baseline survey, we found out that 9 out of 10 samples had detectable E. coli at the point of use, which indicated that there is a huge need for interventions for safely managed water at the structural or household level. Varieties of studies afterwards were carried out related to treatment methods, human psychology and perceptions, and system functionality. You can see the list in the slides as well. I will not be talking about the slides. Following these studies, it was found that the water quality needs to be ensured at different levels by creating a barrier and implementing correct measures. Thus, an evaluation of system level of passive chlorination in gravity-fed pipe water systems, which we do construct, was conducted. The main objective of that research was to explore a systematic approach of an inline chlorination setup, where there will be less human involvement and suitable for areas where there are no electricity. For further information, you can visit the website of NEWAH and Helvetas related to this research, but I will be just summarizing the thing. So not just the chlorination, but there are other interventions also. So we need to focus on different interventions for safely managed water. So other interventions such as source protection, installation of rapid sand filters, 3R, recharge, retention, reuse interventions, and chlorination were also carried out as a multi-barrier approach in our working areas. The physical structure mainly focused on reducing the contamination of the sources. That is not neutralizing the effect, but reducing the contamination, whereas chlorination was meant for disinfection. Initially, chlorination was done manually in our schemes, which was later upgraded to dosing units, cartridge chlorination, and like a manual dosing, it has problems. For example, it can be overdosing or underdosing at multiple times, which could create a negative human psychology, or it has created negative human psychology towards chlorination. because of unusual taste and smell. Beyond these interventions, household water treatment and safe storage with total sanitation movement are highly prioritized for safely managed water. The next slide that I will be talking about, or the first thing, is about the system improvement by chlorination, where we used gravity-fed dosing units. In this setup, we used calcium hypochlorite, which is mixed in a chemical-resistant drum. An electric operator agitator is used to mix the powder with water to prepare a proper chlorine solution. The solution is then supplied to the reservoir tanks. The supply of chlorine solution can be done using a gravity-fed setup or a dosing pump based on the necessity and the willingness of the users. The challenge we faced with this setup is requirement for frequent preparation for the chlorine solution from powder. Also, there is a need for a dedicated trained person to prepare the solution, mix it, pour it into drum, and control the flow of the solution, which needed a regular attention from the users committee. So to overcome all that scenario, we needed some passive chlorination, which can be, fed in a regular interval. So that in this slide, I will be talking about another improvement where we used AquaTab. AquaTab is an inline erosion chlorinator consisting of small solid tablet cartridges. The solid tablets dissolve when mixed with water, and the system gets chlorinated. It is easy to install and can purify 180 to 360 cubic meter of water. However, these are suitable for institutions and schools because of its volume for treatment. The other system that I'm going to talk about is a Pearl 100. It is also a cartridge-based system like AquaTabs, which has similar working principles. The cartridge comes into contact with water, dissolves, and the solution is then supplied to the system. The setup can be open-ended or closed-ended. That means starting from the pipeline can be mixed with the pipeline, or starting from the pipeline and then can be mixed at the reservoir tank. And the solution is then supplied to the system, like I've said. It is completely soluble in water, leaving no traces behind. So there are no traces of like calciums or any other product. Beside that, it is inline, non-electric, and automatic, and the flow can be controlled easily. The capacity for treatment of this setup is around 2,500 cubic meters with 1 milligram per liter of chlorine for the dosing purpose. Based on the experience of AquaTab and inline chlorination, we have termed it as a passive chlorination setup. So we conducted the research on these two systems, where 27 cartridges of AquaTabs and 5 cartridges of Pearl setups in different systems were used, where it was found that the AquaTabs treated 308 cubic meters of water and Pearl 100 setup treated 2,485 cubic meters of water per single cartridge. The installation cost for AquaTab is around $138 US, and for Pearl 100 it's $1,120 US. The installation time for Pearl 100 is more, and it needs trained human resource for the installation work. The refill cost is just $52 US for AquaTabs and $187 US for Pearl 100. The treatment cost per cubic meter of water was less for Pearl 100. Also, the labor cost for monitoring per cubic meter of treated water is around $0.05 US for Pearl 100, which is slightly lesser than that of AquaTab. Since the cartridges of AquaTabs need to be replaced frequently, the monitoring cost is high. For more information, please you can follow the link that has been provided in the slide also. Another level of pilot study where we have conducted a series of studies. In first studies, we carried out a system, 5 systems where we did manual chlorination. And it was found that safe water increased from 7% to 50%, and safe storage increased from 17% to 53%. And as a follow-up, we have conducted next round of study, which included 26 other schemes. Even there, the manual chlorination was practiced. It was observed that safe taps increased from 10% to 16%, and safe storage increased from 11% to 20% only. that was quite lesser than what we did at the earlier study or the previous study, which shows that there is unusual human behavior for treatment, preparing the chlorine and pouring. So there is some unusual behavior of being observed. However, at the same time, we have studied an inline or passive chlorination setup for 5 other systems, where the results shows that the safe taps increased from 10% to 100%, and safe storage increased to 79% in terms of microbial contamination. So there was a reduced risk in the presence of free residual chlorination at the mid end and in regions of the pipeline. So we have seen a lot more improvement in terms of inline chlorination, but at the same time, for the same study, the results of control area showed a significant presence of E. coli during baseline and endline, which was a huge challenging in our area. To conclude from our research work, our experiences, inline chlorination increased the safely managed water. It ensures safe water. It is easy to install and easy to operate. Replacement of cartridges and conducting monitoring works are also easier, reducing operator involvement for maintenance. However, that we should be informed that a recontamination could occur during collection, transport, and storage. The risk at this point of use has been reduced. On the other side, for the supply and operation due to market limitations, support from any supporting organizations, be it government, non-government organizations, they need to support for proper supply of materials. For example, cartridges. Finally, on the figure in this slide shows the proportion of household in risk categories. You can clearly see the growth from lower to higher. Similarly, the LOS part and the red part is reducing or gradually decreasing from baseline to endline. So it's clearly indicated that people were used to the chlorine, and then the risk of microbial contamination was also reduced, which ensure the safely managed water in these rural drinking water schemes. That's all. Looking forward to hear more from you. Thank you. Thank you, Paulina.
Thank you very much indeed, Balmukunda. And next, I would like to invite Mr. Resham Jungsing from Nepal Water for Health to share about their pilot initiatives. The floor is yours, Resham.
Many thanks, Paulina. Hello, everyone. I'm Resham Jungsing, and currently I'm working with Nepal Water for Health in the capacity of director of the organization, which is the leading organization working in the water sector since its establishment in 1992. Thanks our current partner, funding partner Charity Water, and all associated team and partners. My presentation will be focused on the experience of piloting the inline chlorination system in the rural areas of Nepal. Yeah. Before starting the presentation, I would like to present the key terminologies used in inline chlorination system. At first, I would like to mention about the water sources. In the rural context of Nepal, mainly there are two types of water source for drinking water. First one is for groundwater source, where spring source, boreholes, and wells. And secondly, the source water, surface water source, which is stream source. And stream source are more vulnerable to the water pollution or contamination. So as per the drinking water quality standard of government of Nepal, there are various water quality parameters that need to be tested and ensured, like physical, chemical, microbiological. But in the context, local rural context, we focus on turbidity and E. coli. And turbidity is the presence of suspended particles in water, and E. coli is the type of bacteria that is commonly found in the intestines of humans and animals. So both are harmful, especially E. coli is very harmful to human health. And as mentioned in the table, there are various filtration systems used: sedimentation tank, roughing filter, slow sand filter used for high turbid water, and helix filter used for low turbid water. So you can see the picture of typical inline chlorination system in the slide. Moving to the another slide. In this slide, I would I will present about the inline chlorination system. A system level chlorination is necessary to get safe and reliable water at household level. Ultimate target is to achieve the sustainable development goal, especially safe and clean water 6.1. And it is appropriate. An inline chlorination system, microbial contaminants and germs are removed by disinfection to achieve the safe water. However, free chlorine residual testing is important, and it can be done through the community. NEWAH installed various inline chlorination system in the different location of the Nepal. In this slide, I will speak about what are the strengths based on our piloting and based on our experience. What are the strengths of inline chlorination system? Let's talk about the strengths of the inline chlorination system. This is suitable in low turbidity water, as I already mentioned that, cheaper than other means of treatment or disinfection system. However, it seems expensive in the rural context. It can be directly installed in the water systems that have natural spring water sources. It doesn't need electricity power, regular operators input, and inline chlorination systems are more affordable to single storage systems, single reservoir systems, distribution system, and water supply than multiple systems where it costs more. So we can do in multiple systems also, but it costs more. And appropriate in intermediate system. This is quite promising to achieve the SDG goal and by improving water quality into safely managed water access to the community. Here are some pictures you can see related to spring source protection we are doing in the rural context of Nepal, like reservoir tank, right corner top, and a private connection tap, and the hand washing station at school. Yeah. There are some challenges as well. Let's talk about the challenges of inline chlorination system. In the case of stream source, as I already mentioned, this is a surface water source. This system needs additional treatment structures like roughing filter, plain sewage, sedimentation tank to lessen the turbidity, and slows and filters used to reduce turbidity, taste, odor, and the other contamination also. The chlorination cartridges are not easily available in the market, especially in the rural context of Nepal, and challenging to maintain the continuity of replacing the cartridge at the local level due to sometimes due to lack of sufficient funds at the community level. Yeah. And system installed in the inlet pipe before reservoir, chances of overflow and the waste of chlorination as well. And minor repair and maintenance is required, especially in monsoon season. There may be chances of landslide, flooding, and all those things. So due to that hazards, the water system may be damaged. So here are some pictures of filtration system, like slow sand filter, roughing filter, sedimentation tank, and chlorination cartridge also. Yeah. Based on our experience, this is my last slide. What are the way forwards to make the system functional and the inline chlorination system functional and sustainable? Here are some way forward to strengthen the inline chlorination system. Operation and maintenance funds need to be collected by users for regular replacement of cartridge and to conduct minor maintenance works as need. And local government is very close to the users, so that's why local governments should be more responsible for this safely managed water supply system. So local governments must provide leverage fund to assist the users committee in maintaining the chlorination system and regularly checking the free chlorine residual by the community themselves. So this testing is very important to ensure the water quality. Therefore, capacity building, training, and refresher orientations for maintenance workers or operators need to be done. And furthermore, the supply chain of the availability of inline chlorination system needs to be strengthened, and cartridges need to be made easily available at local level. And likewise, need to develop local service providers or suppliers to minimize operational cost as well. Research and development activities need to be encouraged to apply remote monitoring and sensing technology to increase chlorination system accurate and explore the service models to make easily accessible chlorine refills. This is my presentation, and here is a small video I would like to play, which is very short.
धारा हो, एक-एकवटा धारा छ सबै घरमा, 112 वटा धारा हामीले बनाएको सर। त्यस पछाडि अहिले अब बजार भइहाल्यो, बस्ती बढिरहेछ, त्यो भएर अब अलिकति बढेछ। बढ्दाखेरि अहिले त्यही 125 वरिपरि 10-15 वटा धारा हाम्रो प्लस भइरहेछ। माथि 2टा ट्याङ्की हाम्रो लगभग 30,000 लिटर पानी अट्ने खालको हाम्रो ट्याङ्कीहरू बनाएर रिजर्भ गरेर त्यहाँबाट वितरण गर्छन् सर। डाइरेक्ट मुहानबाट खाएको ल्याब टेस्टिङदेखिको ल्याएर कुनै नभएको छ र हाम्रो त्योभन्दा पहिला होइन, वर्षात्याममा देखेको कोलिफर्म जिरो गर्नको लागि हामीले चाहिँ यो प्युरल अटो डोजिङ क्लोरिन मेसिन चाहिँ हामीले पानीमा मुहानमै जडान गरेका छौँ सर। यसमा जुन यो क्लोरिन छ यसलाई चाहिँ पानीले डोज गरेर थोपा बनाएर हाम्रो रिजर्भ ट्याङ्कीमा पुर्याउँछ, त्यसबाट हामी वितरण गरेका छौँ। यसको तलपट्टि एउटा गेट बल छ, त्यसबाट एड गर्ने हो, पानीको फ्लो कम दिने, डोज कम गर्ने, जति पानी बढी आयो त्यति छिटो पगाल्ने हो यसलाई। अनि नेवाले हाम्रो उपभोक्ता समितिको समन्वयमा चाहिँ उहाँहरू आउनुहुन्छ, हामीले चाहिँ यो क्लोरिन हालेको पानीको धाराबाट पानी लिएर उहाँहरूले जिल्ला जनस्वास्थ्यमा प्रयोग गरेर नमुना परीक्षण गरेर हाम्रो कोलिफर्म छैन है भन्ने खालको हामीलाई सर्टिफिकेट दिनुभएको छ। त्यही आधारमा हामी ढुक्क छौँ। हामीले चाहिँ अहिले उपभोक्ताबाट जुन मर्मतको समार कोषमा चाहिँ उठिरहेको रकम हुन्छ त्यसैले यसलाई म्यानेज गरेका छौँ।
Thanks. And here are some references you can refer to for more details. And you can also refer NEWAH website also. There are some detailed information about our organization and our working approach. And thanks a lot for listening to me. If you have any queries and feedback, let me know. Thank you, Paulina. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Resham, for the insightful presentation. And the last presentation will be by the technical specialist of SUSWA, Mr. Narayan Singh Kavas, who will share about SUSWA's efforts to scale up inline chlorination technology in rural areas of Karnali. And I would like to take this moment to remind that if you have any questions, please write them to the chat. We already received one very good question, so we will have time to answer those at the end, or otherwise you can unmute yourself during the Q&A and ask the questions directly from our specialists. But now over to you, Narayan, please.
Okay, thank you, Paulina. Good afternoon and welcome on this session. I am Narayan Singh Khawas, working as a technical specialist in Sustainable Wash for All SUSWA project, funded by Government of Nepal, European Union, and Government of Finland. The project is in implementation in Karnali province of Nepal with the technical assistance of NEWAH, Finland. My presentation is on scaling of inline chlorination in Karnali, where SUSWA is advocating for safe water with promotion of inline chlorination. My next slide, okay, is about the context of Karnali. Karnali province is the largest province of Nepal in terms of geographical coverage, with the most remote, rural, and high poverty. It consists 50% of mountain and 50% hills geography. The province has a great challenge of water quality, and only 3.5% of people are getting safe water in the province. And the major contamination is microorganism. Despite of 3 water quality test laboratories in the province, none of them can test all 19 compulsory parameters set in Nepal drinking water quality standards. Water samples carrying to Kathmandu, capital of country, from mountain districts are challenging and may take minimum 2 to 3 days. So field test kits with a limited test are on use, but not readily available in the communities. So the ground reality of the water quality test in Nepal and Karnali looks, people from the rural area focus only on quantity and have no concern about the quality matters. Whereas water quality test laboratories are limited and throughout the country, only large water supply system of main cities do the regular water quality test. In a small town and rural context, only limited water quality parameter test is in practice. In general, water system constructed by local government use water quality test field kits for a few water quality parameters only, and no water quality test is in most of the cases. So water quality test in rural communities is always a challenge and a big gap. People's concern is only on the quantity rather than the quality of the drinking water. So scaling of inline chlorination with the SUSWA intervention, as Helvetas Nepal and Nepal Water for Health, NEWAH had piloted some water schemes with this inline chlorination system before. SUSWA visited the sites, collected the feedbacks from the communities, and moved further to scale up the technology in Karnali based on the critical situation of the water quality in the Karnali province to mitigate the microorganism, mainly E. coli. SUSWA started its intervention from 7 rural municipalities and 1 municipality with the 25 water schemes. Then it extended to 11 rural municipalities and 2 municipalities, reaching 98 water schemes based on positive field findings. It has been planned to reach 42 municipalities, rural municipalities and municipalities by next year, among 79 such local government in Karnali province. So moving ahead, the convenient technology. Inline chlorination is a convenient technology for Karnali, mainly due to gravity-fed water supply system in hills and mountains, as shown on the layout plan of a water supply system. In hills and mountains, water sources can be found at altitudes and easily flow downwards towards the settlements with the gravity forces. Appropriate water structures like intake, distribution, chamber, reservoir, and water taps built in on the system. In most of the cases, inline chlorination installation happens near to the reservoir and sometimes in distribution chamber as well, so that adequate time will be there to mitigate the coliform in water. As on the picture, raw water mixed with the chlorine tablets with the gravity forces and goes into the reservoir tank as a treated water. Okay, I have a short video and shows how inline chlorination is in practice at the community level. Let's go through it.
इनलाइन क्लोरिनेसन भनेको नै हाम्रो प्रत्येक उपभोक्ता धारधारामा जानु अघि नै हामीले रिजर्भ ट्याङ्कीमा इनलाइन क्लोरिनेसनको मात्रा राखेर प्रत्येक धारधारामा पठाउनु नै हाम्रो इनलाइन क्लोरिनेसन हो र इनलाइन क्लोरिनेसन यस नौमुले गाउँपालिकाको 8 वटा योजना मध्ये सबै योजना भित्र नै हामीले यो इनलाइन क्लोरिनेसन जोडान गरेछौं।
पानी कस्तो छ भनेर चेक गर्ने 10 ml पानी हाल्ने त्योमा त्यहाँदेखि फेरि 2 ml दबाई मिसाउने त्यसलाई त्यहाँदेखि हामीले अब चेक गर्ने अब कस्तो आउँछ भनेर चेक गरिसकेपछि कम मात्रामा आयो भने त्यसलाई अलि बढाउने धेरै आयो भने त्यसलाई फेरि थोरै घटाउने ठिक्कको मात्रा भएपछि अब पानी ठिक छ भनेर बुझिन्छ।
सिरानको दुईटा कलर मिल्दो आयो भने त्यो पानी राम्रो छ भन्ने बुझिन्छ। त्यसले तलतिर कालो पहेँलो भन्दा तलतिर धर्को देखायो भने त्यो पानी बढी औषधि आएछ भन्ने बुझिन्छ। त्यसपछि फेरि मासतिर मिलाएर तलतिर आएर हेरेर हातभन्दा मासतिर त्यो पानी राम्रो रहेछ भन्ने बुझिन्छ।
देख्दा त राम्रै देखिन्थ्यो के रे, भाँडामा हाल्दा त आँखाले नदेखिने किटाणु हुने रहेछ, हामीलाई पनि थाहा भएन। पछि झाडा पखाला लाग्ने आउँ जस्ता रोगहरू लाग्न थाले। त्यसपछि यो सुस्वा संस्था आयो। त्यसपछि यो सुस्वा संस्था आइसकेपछि हाम्रो यो क्लोरिन मेसिन जोड्ने कुरा भयो। त्यसपछि क्लोरिन मेसिन जोडिसकेपछि पहिला सुरुमा त बास आउँथ्यो, धारामा पानी आएपछि बास आउँथ्यो। अनि बास आएपछि के यस्तो बास आएछ त भन्ने हुन्थ्यो, लाग्थ्यो हामीलाई। त्यसपछि खाँदै गर्दा पछि यो क्लोरिन मेसिन हो, यसले जीवाणुहरू मर्छन् भन्नुभयो सरहरूले हामीहरूलाई। अनि कहिलेकाहीँ बास आएन भने धारामा क्लोरिन मेसिन जोडेको छैन कि के हो, फेरि बास आउन थाल्यो भने क्लोरिन मेसिन जोड्नु भएको छ कि के हो, अब ढुक्क छ के आउन जीवाणु त्यस्तो भनेर लाग्छ।
इनलाइन कोलिनेसन को मार्ता कसरी चेक गर्ने, कसरी त्यो इनलाइन कोलिनेसन जडान गर्ने उहाँहरूलाई तालिम प्राप्त गरिसकेका छौँ र उहाँहरूले आफै नै कसरी इक्वल टेस्ट गरेर यो पानी पिउन उक्त छ छैन भन्ने आफै नै तालिमयुक्त लिएर जानुभएको छ।
Okay, hope you enjoy the video with the community of people. Further moving ahead, there was a field assessment and some findings I'm going to present. An intern student from Finland conducted a field level assessment focusing on water quality and inline chlorination in SUSWA project, where the project started. It's scaling up from the first 8 rural municipalities and municipalities. The assessment shows 52% with no issues with the installation of the technology, and 30% with the financial issues, and 17% mentioned as a shortage of spare parts and tool. Similarly, similarly, on the question of issues on E. coli testing, 43% of water users mention no water quality testing kits available, and 39% of users said no training for the testing of water quality, whereas 30% of water users said no problem with the E. coli testing. But 26% of water users talked about the no money to buy testing kits and reagents for the water quality testing. The assessment has clearly shown the area of improvement in water quality issues for the E. coli testing and promotion of inline chlorination, including capacity building on water quality concerns. So, regarding the scaling up of inline chlorination, SUSWA project itself a government project and implementing project activities through the local government. This is already a great start of the scaling up of inline chlorination and reached nearly 50,000 people from SUSWA itself with the safe water among 1.7 million people of Karnali province. It's a good start to scaling up of the technology and a need to spread out throughout the country. Thank you for your kind attention and your interest in this presentation, and looking forward to the discussion further. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Narayan sir, for the presentation. And now it's indeed time for questions and answers. We have already received multiple questions through the chat, so I think that we could start with those. Many of them are about the sustainability of the system, but I would like to start with the first question we received. So how do you think about the effectiveness of research findings from Helvetas, SUSWA, NEWAH, and other institutions on water quality improvement in rural areas? And do these institutions work closely with local current governments who have more decision-making power? And they say basically during the monsoon, rural water supply can be highly contaminated. So how could these institutions at the local level, or how do the institutions assist the local government to provide WHO standard safe drinking water to rural communities? Who would like to go first? I think that this could be maybe Resam and Narayan could start, or Mukunda.
Paulina?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I've seen some questions in the chat box. I would respond some questions, and then other colleagues will also respond. Yes, sustainability of inline chlorination system is challenging in the rural context of Nepal. Yes, we already in our 3 presentation, same kind of findings are there. So collaboration with local government and incorporating in their planning and budgeting system is necessary. Yes, we agree on that. And similarly, another question, who monitors the inline chlorination system? Based on our experience, there is a users committee at the local level, and there will be the trained maintenance workers, caretakers. So primarily, maintenance workers and caretakers are responsible to monitor and to closely supervise the chlorination system, and overall users committee is responsible. Uh, uh, and we need to make responsible local government as well for the sustainability of the system. And regarding assessment, I think Narayan sir's presentation was clear. Our collective effort and advocacy is necessary to replicate this system. And another one question is, yes, when local people can't pay the tariff, if they are able to use water or not, and local government is always there, so they can compensate the tariff fee, and at the local context, users committee can decide whether any household or any discriminated people or household can't pay. They can determine the tariff, or they can waive the tariff as well at the local context. So the target is nobody left behind to use the safe water. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, Paulina.
Thank you very much, Resham. Just if you are wondering, I had an internet connection issue, so I dropped out, and I'm joining from my colleague's laptop now. So you may not see me in the meeting, but here I am. So thank you very much for the response. And then we could go to the next question, and also from the chat. So many of these questions were actually related to the sustainability. So I am picking one of them for now. So what could be the key effective strategies to ensure long-term sustainability of such interventions in community-led setting? And there's also related question I'm picking. So again, like many are commenting on the importance of the engagement of the local governments to develop these systems, and then there's a question like that the maintenance of the supplies schemes is covered by the fees collected from users. So what are some of the solutions if a household is not able to pay such a fee? For instance, can they still use the water? And this is of course related very much to the sustainability.
If I may, I would like to respond some of these questionnaires. Thank you, audience, for such a lovely words and such a good feedback. Well, to see a lot of comments related to sustainability and involvement of local government and the role of institutions like Helvetas, SUSWA, or NEWAH, how they can provide the feedbacks. So one thing for sure is there is a problem. The problem is we live in a country in a hilly region, and we have to face that. We do have a microbial contamination in our water. So their water could be treated at the source or could be treated at the household. Even from the results indicated that just leaving behind things for the household water treatment is not the total solution. So we have to go for any technology that can be involved at the structural level. So the researchers from institution like us, in coordination with international organization, we can explore about what are the methods that they are adopting, what are the techniques they're using for testing water qualities, can be learned from us, and then we can disseminate the information to the local government, not just local government, but the community also. And we're not just talking about the chlorination unit, we're talking about a drinking water scheme. So we are constructing drinking water scheme in the direct guidance or presence of local community or local government. So there is a huge involvement of local government for entire section. And this water treatment or the chlorination in the context of a poor or least developed country like Nepal, where we are more focusing or emphasizing on quantity of water, is really lesser. So we need to rethink of like how it can be happened or how we can adjust the system so that the causes of this diarrheal incidents in Nepal can be reduced. So we at least need to be ensured. And working closely with local government can be more kind of giving knowledge, sharing both sides is a common understanding. And for the sustainability, obviously the cost is one of the huge factor. It is the determinant for the market availability. Once people can create the demand, there is an easiness in supply, but now there is no demand. So we keep saying, okay, the market is the issue. So yeah, the subsidy from the government, the initiation, the tariff obviously plays a crucial role for the sustainability of the systems. And at least we need to make sure that the people do understand like this can prevent the disease, and the cost or the economic cost of installing these units are more valuable than the cost of treatment. So that one thing can be introduced, and then sustainability can happen. And I'll just address one more question. I've seen how the testings are done. So like my previous speaker said, there are very few limitations, or few labs are not established in the remote areas. So the local government then can play the crucial role, establishing lab, monitoring the fit for purpose parameters, and then focusing on this. So direct involvement for local government for testing and neutralizing this contamination can be a good way to lead for the sustainability of these schemes. Thank you, Paulina.
Thank you very much for the...
Sorry, Paulina, please.
No, all good. Yeah, thank you very much for the response, Palmukunda. And then I would like to pick the question to Narayan about SUSWA's work. So are there any efforts from SUSWA to develop supply chain network to access these technological solutions and the equipment needed for inline chlorination in these local markets and communities? Over to you, Narayan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Paulina, and yes, for the good questions. Thank you for the good questions. Yes, all these are related with sustainability. It's a part of sustainability of this supply chain system of and market linkages. In case of SUSWA, when the SUSWA started working in the Karnali region, there were no such suppliers near and this region. But as the private sector saw the opportunities, they started to establish the different dealers and sub-dealers on that area. So it is always impacted by the demand. When there will be the good awareness on the community level and owned by the government and the communities, then there will be the good demand. As currently we are working in 25 rural municipalities and municipalities in Karnali, and private sector already established a dealer in Nepalganj, which is very near in the region. Near to the capital of the region. And similarly, they have extended the sub-dealer on the other districts, like the Dailek. There is one dealer in Dailek and another dealer in Dang, which is very close to our the intervention area. So whenever the private sector see the opportunities, they will extend such that kind of market channel. So we are, making aware for the safe water to the communities and advocating with the local government, and they are quite, positive on this technology and intervention. And now the private sector following, engaging to supply the chain, the supply the technology, opening the different dealers and sub dealers on the area. So main thing is that this awareness on water quality issues, and it will be automatically connected with the private sector, but at the same time we need to also advocate for the private sector to intervene their different options of the inline chlorinations.
Many thanks, Narayan. And then I would like to pick one question, which is about a little bit different perspective. So there's a comment and a question about the possible byproducts from inline chlorine and the organic matter, and if it can be harmful in the long term, and would this be an issue in the future?
Okay, I will try to answer, and other colleagues may add further. Yes, definitely there. Yeah, it might be long-term effect if we if the people used on the overdosed. So we need to, advocate for its making aware what should be the concentration, and we should always advocate for the national standard. And if it is below than the national standard, it will not mitigate the coliform, or the microorganism. If it is exceed than the recommended concentration of the inline chlorination, it may harmful for all the living organism. So we should make very we should have the very serious on this, and need to advocate to the communities and the relevant community workers and the government agencies and the WASH stakeholders, so that they will be well aware on the standards, national standards, and limit on that range of the recommended range of the water quality parameters.
Many thanks, Narayan. And I think we have a time for one more question before the closing remarks with a short and concise answer. So basically, all speakers, or any of you, do you envision a future where this technology can be widely installed and used in rural areas of Nepal? And what are the limitations and barriers to scaling up? And a little bit related to this, if any one of you wants to mention anything about the strategies for community actors professionalization. Perhaps now, Palmukunda or Resham, would you like to start?
Yeah,
in a few minutes.
Paulina, just I'd like to respond to this question. Yeah. Yes, I already mentioned that to make the sustainability of inline chlorination system, some of our participants also provided their feedback as well. I totally agree with them. And incorporating or strengthening the local government's planning and budgeting process is very crucial. So based on our experience, like NEWAH, Helvetas, and SUSWA, we do have, we raise these awareness activities to disseminate the experience and knowledges to the wider range of audience, especially to the local government, provincial and federal governments in Nepal. So strengthening the local, especially local governments' planning and budgeting system is necessary. From that, we can get sustainability of this system. Yeah.
Thank you. Resham sir, thank you very much. Maybe we can squeeze in one more question, because there's a very interesting question as last one, like is there a growing demand for installation of such a system in the communities? And importantly, do people readily accept the chlorinated water, provided the taste that the taste might be different compared to normal water? And if there are any strategies to address this?
Okay, I will try to answer for these questions. Thank you, Mingma sir. Mingma Sherpa. And I mean, demand, growing demands, based on the awareness. I mean, if there is good awareness on water quality, then there will be the demand. I mean, so the advocacy is the one major thing for the water quality in Nepal. So whenever there will be the awareness on water quality, then the demand will come. Like in Karnali, what we did, I mean, there were not such a demand before, but now there is a good awareness due to all these kind of intervention by the local government, and now there is demand. So for the acceptance, initially they little bit hesitate on the smells, and whenever they start using this with the awareness of water quality, then they realize that okay, this smell is okay, rather than this diarrhea disease and other kind of disease. So demand is there. And how the project addressing this? Okay, for that the only the thing is the advocacy and making aware to the people on the water quality. That's the main strategy. And whenever they know one time, then they are always aware and use for the chlorination system for safe water.
Thank you, Narayan. And we are coming to the end of our sessions. So we are very delighted to have Ms. Riikka Miettinen, Program Manager from the Ministry for Foreign Affairs of Finland, to provide us with closing remarks today. The floor is yours, Riikka, please.
Thank you, Pauliina. And hello, everyone. My name is Riikka Miettinen. I'm the Program Manager from the Ministry for Foreign Affairs of Finland. I'm very happy to say some closing remarks here. But first of all, I want to thank and congratulate you all for impressive presentations and work. Finland has promoted access to safe water and cooperated in the WASH sector with Nepal for 35 years already, recent years with the strong support from the EU. Finland has mostly focused on rural WASH in the western parts of Nepal, and we have mainly worked through a bilateral mechanism, working together with the government of Nepal. Through our joint efforts in Nepal, we have successfully reached 2 million beneficiaries with improved water supply services in the western regions of the country. We had yesterday another online presentation here in the Water Week with Nirajan Restra from SUSWA project and Jukka Ilomäki from the ministry, talking about Finnish support to the Nepal decentralization efforts. Finland has been an important supporter of Nepal in establishing and building the current three-level government system with strong support to the municipality and community level. We had also earlier today a live show on gender-responsive budgeting in WASH sector in Karnali, Nepal, with Raju Tirwa from SUSWA and Krista Orama from the ministry. As you all know, access to water and sanitation is an important human right, but even so, billions of people in the world are still living without safely managed water and sanitation. To achieve universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for all by 2030 is also an important sustainable development goal. Access to safe water is not just about meeting immediate needs. It's about building resilience for future generations. Clean water is fundamental to health, economic stability, and overall well-being of the community, and also would like to add peace in the world, and we could add many other important goals. As climate change intensifies, ensuring reliable and safe water sources becomes even more critical, particularly for disadvantaged populations in rural and urban settings. Our joint efforts must continue to focus on sustainable solutions that provide long-term security and equity in access to water. In this session, we heard about how inline chlorination is a good innovative technology to make water safe for more and more people and communities, but also about some sustainability and health questions were raised and also well answered. Finland's new government report on international economic relations and development cooperation from July 2024 mentions the intention to continue to work in the water sector, but benefiting also more than before from cooperation with the private sector, researchers, and different administrative branches. I want to thank you for all the participants and also for many questions and comments. Thank you. With these words, I close this session, and I wish you all to have a nice continuation of the Water Week. Thank you.